What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So the stock market did well today. S&P 500 up 0.1%. The Dow Jones went up 0.2%. The NASDAQ 100 broke even as the Russell 2000 went up over 1% on the day. And today we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks to buy now. And I also want to share with you guys what stocks I own right now and in general where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to join the Strive Smart Discord chat and Facebook group. And don't forget to also claim 4 stocks from WeBull. All of those are linked down below in the description box. And the beauty of it is they're all 100% free of charge. So let's get into it. S&P 500 today did not hit an all-time high. Yesterday it did at 3756.12, but we still saw a pretty bullish day. I mean, take a look. We gapped up this morning. You guys can see it here on the 5-day 5-minute. We gapped up from 37.28, the close from yesterday, up to about 37.37. We ran up to about 37.45, and then we pretty much coasted downwards for the rest of the day. But we still closed at a higher low based on the lows from yesterday. I mean, take a look. Yesterday, the lows were at about 37.26, which was the support, previous all-time high, or previous resistance, right, from a couple trading days ago. We talked about that, how the S&P held that yesterday. That was very bullish, right? So we held that yesterday. We held a higher low today from that point at the close of the market. Hence, we're still above 37.26, 37.27. So the markets are looking pretty bullish, right? And honestly, for tomorrow, guys, and for the rest of this week and for next week, I'm going to be looking at this point right here, right about 37.30, 37.25, and I want to see if the uptrend's going to hold. Are we going to hold this level that I just drew for you guys? Are we ultimately going to break out of this ascending triangle that's slowly starting to form on the S&P? If so, honestly, we could squeeze up and maybe see another all-time high, maybe above 37.56. That's if we break out of 37.45. So that's worth watching. And of course, if we break under 37.25.26, that old all-time high, if we do that, we could be gapping down a bit lower to about 37.12, maybe 3700. And honestly, these technicals haven't really changed much from yesterday's video. So I'm not saying anything new at this point. We're just consolidating above 37.26, and overall, that's a pretty good sign, right? So that's the S&P. Dow Jones went up 0.2% today, and you can also see the Dow is struggling under about 30,500. We see a big resistance there from back on the 28th of December, 29th of December, and today, right? You guys can see earlier in the day, the Dow failed breaking out of 30,500, but we're uptrending into that resistance, putting us in just like the S&P, an ascending triangle here on the Dow on the 10-day 30-minute. You guys can see it. If I redraw this, you can see we're holding a higher low on that one, or actually the 50 SMA on this 30-day chart. And if we hold 30,400 tomorrow, we squeeze up maybe to test 30,500. I think there could be a pop out of there, whether it's tomorrow or next week. Mind you guys, this Friday is New Year's Day. The market is closed, so we're not going to have trading, obviously. So we'll see whether it happens tomorrow, we squeeze out, or Friday. I think that's, not Friday, next week. I think that's a possible scenario that could play out here. So watch that on the Dow, S&P 500. We're looking at an ascending triangle here on both of those. And let's see if it's on the NASDAQ 100 as well. It kind of is. We see resistance here at about 12,800, 900. We see a big resistance there, quite honestly, and we're actually uptrending into it. You can see with today's close, we held above 12,800. That's a big support in the past 3 days of trading, and we also held the 50 SMA here on the 10-day 30-minute chart. So that's a good sign as well. So watch out what happens here, guys. We're in a consolidation phase the past couple of days, 2-3 days, and we're looking to pick direction. Whether we gap down, we see a bit of a sell-off, or we break out of the resistances here, and we might see a huge leg up if that actually ends up happening. And when it comes to the Russell 2000, we saw over a 1% day today. And for those of you guys that saw my video yesterday, we talked about how the Russell was at a decent dip, at least in the short term, on the hourly chart, the 20-day chart we're looking at. If we're looking at the 4-hour chart, I would like to see a much bigger dip, probably to 1700, 1800. But if we're looking again at the smaller time frames, 20-day chart, this was a pretty decent dip at 1950. It held the higher low. It gapped up today. So that would have been a nice opportunity for something like, I think I called this out yesterday, right? Something like IJR. This is an ETF, a small caps ETF that pretty much goes hand in hand with the Russell. So this is one worth watching for small caps, and did well today. So maybe we'll see if this little rally, this little recovery that we're seeing in the Russell will continue tomorrow, maybe into next week. Who knows? It's very possible. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. What do you think about the markets? Are we going higher, lower? Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you just sitting in cash? Kind of like how I am right now before this long weekend and heading into 2021, which it's crazy. 2020 is over, guys. It was one heck of a year, and we're about to start fresh. So we're going to have some new goals, new ambitions, new achievements that we want to hit, all that good stuff as we're turning the page to 2021. So let me know your thoughts again down below in the comments. And for me, guys, what I did today, like I kind of hinted to a couple seconds ago, I didn't do much. I'm kind of holding cash right now. I don't want to force anything. I saw a potential entry in NEO. I actually called it out on my Instagram this morning at StasSurfS. Make sure to follow me there. If you guys caught this play, good for you. I'm happy for you. You made money, but I didn't take it, honestly. I called this out pre-market. Not actually. It might have been right when the market opened. We talked about how it was holding 46, 46.50. If we zoom in here on the hourly chart or zoom out, we can see it held right around this higher low point at 44.45 yesterday. We saw the rally yesterday. We saw the continuation of the rally today. So it was looking pretty good. And on top of that, we're seeing a inverse head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder here. So there's some headway to go, honestly. And I'm kind of kicking myself for not taking this trade, but I mean, you can't dwell on it. I didn't take the trade. But again, I hope one of you guys did well on this one. And I think this is the real test. If it breaks 48, we start to complete that right shoulder here in the inverse head and shoulder. I think there could be some headway up to 54. And that's kind of a reason why I'm not that bummed out at the same time, because I'm fully aware that this is the beginning of the move. And you guys know on the 9th of January, NEO has an event called NEO Day, right? And we all know how Tesla Day is. Tesla stock is crazy on those days. So I think NEO might be the same. We might see some hype. And I wouldn't be surprised if next week, maybe even tomorrow, but next week especially, I wouldn't be surprised if NEO did see a big move up to the 50s and even higher than $50. So I didn't do anything, guys. You know, I almost took the NEO trade. Probably going to wait till next week to see what's going on with NEO. And I'm still in Workhorse WKHS. Nothing really changed there. I'm in at $22. And I'm also still in SLV to have some silver exposure, which did well today, up another 1.5%, up to about almost $25 per share. So I'm very happy about this. And watch out for SLV, guys. I think this is only the beginning. I mean, take a look here on the hourly chart. Yeah, it's done very well in the past 3 weeks. It's gone up from $21 to almost $25, but now we're seeing an ascending triangle, which could lead it up even further, especially if we break out of 25. I think from 25, we can break upwards to 26, maybe 27, and that's why I'm holding on to this. I think there's a lot more potential. So what did you guys do? Let me know in the comments, and if you guys are enjoying the video, hit that like button. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to also get your 4 free stocks from WeBull, which, if you're watching this on the 30th or the 31st of December, you're in luck, because that promotion is still running. After December, it's done, and you won't be able to get 4 stocks unless WeBull does push it back again, which they've been doing a lot. But yeah, go check it out. 4 stocks linked down below. So AMD, stock number 1 here out of the 10. And at the end of the video, we're going to be doing some bonus ones, so stay till the end. Number 1 here is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This is one that is interesting. I think there is some upside, but there's also a little bit of risk of a head and shoulder here. And take a look at what I'm saying. You guys can see here, we have the left shoulder potentially. I mean, it is, right? The head. And this potentially is the right shoulder at about 94, 95. If it does end up struggling out of there and we dump off, that would be the completion of the right shoulder. So in the meantime, I think, yeah, it could be a head and shoulder forming, but either way, in the meantime, there's upside from 92 up to 95, 96, and then we'll see if it's starting to form that right shoulder. And how would we know if it's going to form a right shoulder and dump off? If it is struggling at 95, if it's struggling at the previous shoulder, the left shoulder resistance, $95, $96 in this case. You know, if it's struggling there, we might see a bit of a curl back down, maybe to the low 90s, which would be the right shoulder. But again, until then, I think there is some juice in AMD from 92 to 95. And the thing here is, guys, if we break out of 95, that honestly, that's not going to be a head and shoulder. We're probably going to be testing all-time highs from there and maybe over to $100, over $100 per share. So watch out for AMD. I like this one a lot right here. Peloton is another one. This was a pretty shorted stock a couple weeks ago. If you guys saw it, I mean, ever since the 140 level back in the middle of October, down to about $100. It actually went under $100. A lot of people, even people I talked to, were shorting Peloton. They made some good money. I didn't short it, but a lot of people did out there. They made some good money, and kudos to you if you did. And ever since then, it's been consolidating a bit, or it was consolidating earlier in December, and it broke out. It broke out, and it's on a tear right now. It actually got out of that wedge on the 4-hour. We gapped up all the way to 130, that resistance from back in the beginning of November, and we broke 130 all the way up to 170, which honestly, guys, there's no debating it. That was very overbought. And we got from 170 down to 145 yesterday, and now we're holding the 50 SMA 4-hour chart. We're up 3% today, and we're trying to maybe push back up to the high 150s, low 160s, maybe back up to the 170s. So this one is a momentum play that dipped down when it got overbought. Very, very healthy pull down we're seeing, where I think we could end up getting back in to ride up this momentum. I think this is a pretty interesting play here, but the second it dumps under this 50 SMA, let's say it breaks 145 back into the low 140s, I think we could be going back to 130 at that point, maybe the 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart, and I'd be careful at that point. Be very, very careful, guys. And another one here is ExxonMobil, XOM, and if you guys watch my M1 Finance portfolio update video earlier on the top dividend stocks, dividend growth stocks that I'm looking to buy in 2021, this is one of them. And I've been buying a ton of ExxonMobil in that account as of late. I've been buying shares left and right. And I'm bullish on this company, guys. It's kind of one of my only, I'd say, in that portfolio at least, the M1 portfolio, one of my only recovery plays, that and Realty Income, ticker symbol O. And if you guys want to check out that episode, go watch it. It's linked down below. Go watch it after this. It's where, and if you guys don't know, I mean, this is a series I started on the channel where I took a portfolio from $0 back in July 2019 and built it to now over $10,000 in just about a year and a half. I built it to show you guys how to start a portfolio from zero to however big it gets. And again, if you guys want to check that out, I'll link it down below. A recent episode just came out earlier today. I'm sure you guys will like it, and that's more for the long-term investors that are interested. That's one of my long-term accounts, right? So go check it out, link down below. And technically speaking here, I think XOM has some room. I think it has some juice back up to the mid-40s. I think we're going to hold this 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart. We're already doing it at a higher low. Now I'm just waiting to see the pop out of this 50 SMA resistance on the 4-hour chart. And from there, we can see that squeeze again back up to the mid-40s, right? And you can see it here for yourselves on the hourly chart. It's holding the support nicely at 41.42. Now I'm just waiting for the pop up. There could be about 6, 7, 8% upside if it does squeeze from here back up to the mid-40s. So I think Exxon is very, very strong for a dividend play, for a recovery play, and honestly, even for a swing trade. I think this fits many different trading styles, investing styles. I think this is a pretty good one right now. And if you look at AAL, this is one that looks very similar to ExxonMobil. It hit a peak at about $18. It's pulled down. Now it's holding the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, just like ExxonMobil, and it's about to test $16.75, $17, which is a resistance that if it breaks, I think that is where we could see a pretty big pop in AAL, maybe back up to the mid-17s, low 18s, maybe even higher. So watch out for AAL and Exxon. Those are two recovery plays I like in the short term. Maybe even one like LUV, we can throw that in here, maybe for a move back up to the high 40s, maybe even into the 50s. And Tencent, TCEHY, this is one that we actually called out a couple videos ago when it was in the descending triangle pattern. We called out this bearish pattern we were seeing. We can see here it was struggling, making lower highs at about 80, 81 into the 70s, but it was also holding a support at 72. That's the descending triangle you're seeing. And I was telling you guys, the second it breaks $72, we're likely to go down. And it did exactly that. The descending triangle played out, and now we're seeing a recovery, a relief rally back up to that 72 level of resistance, which I think if that breaks, that is where we can see a big move in TCEHY, and especially if it breaks over 72, like I said, and the moving averages here into the mid-70s. I think the second it gets mid-70s, this could be back up into the 80s in no time. So I'm watching TCEHY. I'm also watching MasterCard MA. This is one that I've been tracking for weeks. I'm in this as a long-term investment. You guys can see that, again, like I said earlier, in my M1 Finance portfolio. I actually own this stock as well in there. This is one that has been struggling like crazy at this resistance on the 4-hour chart. You can see it here, 367 lower high, 356, 353, 348, 343, and now we finally broke out of that resistance. We broke out of the resistance at about, 345, and we exploded. MA went up over 2.5% today, and I think, especially because we broke 355 and we held it as support, there could be even more upside here. I mean, sure, we could consolidate a little bit under 355, but overall, the fact that we broke the wedge, that is a good sign. And I think we could get back into the 360s at this point on MasterCard, so I'm watching that closely. And Sunrun, ticker symbol RUN, is another one. We hit a higher high in the pattern at 72. We broke out of 69.70 resistance. We pulled down. Yesterday, we saw a big red day. I don't even know how much it went down, like at least 10%. I mean, it went down from 68 to about 64. It held that higher low, this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. And today it recovered. This is very good stuff. It went up over 5.5%, and it's looking to fill the gap back up to 69, and 69 is the big test. If it can break 69, $70, this could be going mid-70s. I honestly think that. After a long period of kind of consolidating, you guys can see more than consolidating. It was really a roller coaster ride between 65 to about 50. It's been months since we've been trading in this little range, and I think if 70 breaks, like I said, 80 could be in the cards for Sunrun here. So I'm watching that. And I have NEO listed here. which I already covered earlier, but I'll just say it again. Watch out for NEO, guys. 48, 49 bucks. If it breaks 50, we get some nice volume, momentum. I think this is going to explode heading into NEO day. And like I've said before, there's a lot of money to be made with NEO, and I've traded it in the past, swing traded it, day traded, all that good stuff, but I don't know if this makes sense, I'm not as gung-ho in getting into NEO because I have long-term investments with NEO. I have shares that I've been buying even a year and a half ago, almost 2 years at this point, that are doing well. So if I have a long-term position in a stock, yeah, you can day trade it as well, swing trade it, but it's just a weird, it's a weird little scenario, man. It's just odd. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, or I'm just being weird. But overall, I'll probably get in if it breaks 49.50 for that momentum play. But again, I'm not rushing it because I own stock, so I'm making money either way on NEO, if that makes any sense, guys, right? So I'm watching NEO there into NEO day again, January 9th, and DraftKings, DKNG. Oh man, guys, DraftKings got hit these past couple of days. It went down from 52 2 days ago to about 49. Yesterday it got down to 47. Today it rallied from 47 up to about 48, 49. And it seems like if I look at this 4-hour chart, seems like we're holding the uptrend. We're holding a higher low at this 180 SMA right around 48, 49 bucks. And this could be a squeeze play, an ascending triangle type of play. Maybe we squeeze up to the 50s, 52, 55. That could be a nice dip buy and a range for DraftKings to go from where it is now, 48 to 55. That's about 12%, guys. So that's no joke. I like this dip here on DraftKings. And this is another one that I almost bought today, but I didn't. I'm being a bit stubborn. I'll be honest, guys. With this cash I have, I'm being a bit stubborn. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's the end of the year. I kind of want to wrap up my trading and start fresh next year. I don't want to force anything, especially before the long weekend. But hey, that's just the truth. I'm being a little bit stubborn here. But overall, that is a good stock, DraftKings, to watch here. And another one is Corsair Gaming, CRSR. This is one that went up almost 4% today. It's holding the uptrend here on the 4-hour chart at a higher low, the 180 SMA. And one thing worth noting on Corsair is, can you guys spot it on the hourly chart? Can you spot it? The head and shoulder. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We saw the big dump off yesterday, which completed the right shoulder. And we got consolidation today. So are we going to break out of this head and shoulder? I think it's possible. And if we do, if we get the gap up, let's say into 37, 38, that could be a nice confirmation that we might be going up to maybe 42, maybe $43. That's the next big resistance here that I'm seeing on Corsair Gaming. So watch out for that. And a couple of bonus ones here. If you guys stuck till the end, if you did, shout out to you. Let me know in the comments. Say I stuck till the end. And I know a lot of you guys watch every day till the end. That's just amazing to me. I really appreciate you guys. That's just awesome. I really appreciate your support. Seriously. But the number one is SBE, Switchback Energy. This one's taking ChargePoint public. They're merging, right? This is one that went to $49, almost 50 bucks. Got very overbought there. You can't really argue that. The RSI was screaming, and now it actually sold off quite aggressively to a point where I think is maybe a decent dip buy, right? We broke $43. We didn't hold that, but what we did hold is this 41, 42-ish level, $40 level, right around the 50 SMA. We actually held that on the 4-hour chart at a higher low. So I think the confirmation here on SBE, and I'm actually going to set an alert here, I think this one's going to be above 43. If it can break 43 cleanly, nicely, with good volume, good momentum, I think this one could be a candidate to get back into the high 40s. So SBE is worth watching, and NVIDIA is another one worth watching, which, dang it, guys, I sold out of this one for a loss, and now it's pretty much right back to my cost basis. It was one of those plays, right? It was one of those plays where you get in, it goes down a little bit, you cut your losses, then it goes right back up to where you were originally, and I guarantee you it's going to break out. like we thought it was earlier this week. And that's the thing with trading. You know, a lot of it is getting in at the right time. Timing is key. We got in. We got in a couple of days ago, but we didn't get in when the breakout occurred. So I'm going to be a bit more patient with it, right? I want to see it break out of these moving averages on the 4-hour chart and out of this overall wedge resistance that you guys can see. If I remove this and redraw it, you guys can see if we clear above 530, 535, I think that could be where we finally get the breakout on NVIDIA. And trust me, guys, it's coming. I can feel it. I can feel it. I think NVIDIA is going to be see a big squeeze of about 5, 7, 10%. I think it's coming. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. That's just my honest opinion. So that's it. We went over a bunch of stocks here, 12 stocks. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Let's try to get 400 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Just because we hit 20K, guys, doesn't mean that you stop subscribing. I would really appreciate you guys if you subscribe to the channel. And make sure to also join the Discord chat, the Facebook group. Follow me on Twitter at StasSurFest and Instagram at StasSurFest. All of those are linked down below. You could also get 4 stocks from WeBull, $10 from Coinbase, $10 from M1 Finance. All of those links are down below as well. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, thanks for the support. You guys are awesome. Keep crushing the markets. And most importantly, stay safe out there. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.